all good. I'm saying yay for you. I don't have time to be on the Scottsdale City Board, nor do I live in Scottsdale. But if I did, I probably would too, right? I like to make sure things are going as perfectly as possible for my family and my friends.
Well, I want
to
really protect the families and the way of life, our way of life.
Right.
That's
important.
That I grew up with, and people live in Scottsdale for a reason.
Yeah.
They want that, I call it the small town feeling with the big city flair. That's what I call
with
it.
some nice little ads.
Yeah.
You don't get anywhere else other than Scottsdale. We drive to Scottsdale all the time. It's got all the cool shops and pretty restaurants. And it's like you're in a really clean, probably what LA or New York used to be like, frankly, when they started. Only low level, no high buildings, which is nice because we have a beautiful sunset every single night. So
and I love my sunsets.
High buildings don't work out.
I love that. The
single
ability
family
to see
stories is
miles,
super important here.
Yeah. And right now, may I just say, we need to get 1,000 signatures to get on the ballot, just to have our name.
And the deadline for that is?
April 4th. So anyone that would go on my website, I've got my little card here.
That's PamelaCarter.com.
PamelaCarter.com. I do have a QR code. You can just scan the back of that.
Perfect.
Can you see it?
Get in there. Get in there.
Scan it. Woo!
Perfect. Oh, modern technology in 2022 is truly amazing.
Yeah.
Truly amazing. For those of us who've never been in studio
scan
before.
That
Great.
QR code
Check that
and it'll
out.
take them right to my website. They can sign my petition online. Ooh,
Yes,
I love that.
and
That was really fun.
Just
Thank
a little bit more.
That was really fun. And just go on my website and you can sign my petition, donate to my campaign. Volunteer. I love. I mean, that's one of the things I loved about working on the Trump campaign. I loved my volunteers. I loved my neighborhood team leaders. In fact, I cried at the end of our campaign, just because
it's like family.
You grow so close to the people you work with, as you know.
Of course. Yeah.
And we braved the 115-degree weathers, that's
the Patriot for sure, because it gets so hot out here.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I cried. We had a Lara Trump event at one of my friends' homes, and a lot of my volunteers were there, and she was thanking everyone. I was just bawling. The people who serve like that are the backbone of our grassroots.
Yeah, it is.
You coming in here with your gifts and talents.
Well, fingers crossed on that one, but I think. And I just got I'm getting handed notes in the studio. So this is my first studio day. So this is exciting for me. And we're going to break for a commercial. Oh, yeah. And don't touch the mic. Darn, not supposed to read that. That's a Bidenism if I ever heard one. We'll be right back.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hi, we're back with Pamela Carter. She's running for Scottsdale City Council. You can find her website at PamelaCarter.com. We just went over that a little bit. So let's talk also about really what you want to share with people and what you'd like them to hear about you. Let's say if they've heard you, turned you on for the first time.
Well, I guess you could say that I think we went over a little bit of my bio, but I started working out with weights when I was 12 years old. Wow. And then eventually went into owning a fitness center.
Right.
Working with athletes, orthopedic surgeons on rehabilitation of sports injuries.
Wow.
So, I did the whole women's workout and all that. Then I went from there
like our steps and our aerobics.
Well, we didn't. Yeah, aerobics were kind of just starting. But weight training was my love, because I used to work out with weights. I wanted to try my brother's weights. That was long before women were weight training and wanting to get all these pretty muscles.
Definitely. Perfect.
I did begin. There was an opening to do an exercise program on a Christian television station.
Oh, yeah.
I was one of the first and only that I know of to actually use weights and aerobics to Christian gospel music.
Wow, that's novel. I think I haven't heard that one before.
And I did. I have probably done 2,000 episodes on television, mainly in the faith-based community.
Where do we find that?
Well, you know what?
I bet that would be fun. You can't find them?
I can't find them. They, that was back.
Google hasn't uploaded those yet.
No, I do have but I did capture my workouts.
I'm gonna have to do some Googling later and see if I can find something.
There is a video. I do have a video series that thankfully I produced myself.
What is that?
And I was also a producer, and I did a film in 2004 called Forevermore.
Oh,
and I was one of the co-producers of that, and it was about the story of Carla Faye Tucker, who was a pickaxe murderer.
Oh, fun.
And it's her true story.
Wow.
Actually, it's a true story. And she was on death row for her crimes, but she became a prostitute because of her single mothering, and single mother brought her up.
It happens.
And the abuse that happened to her, she actually became, high on drugs, and then she committed the crime. Well, she came to know Christ. She came to know the Lord. And on death row. So this was her story. And so we did, I was one of the co-producers. Amazing. And worked on that film, and it won a couple of Emmy Awards.
So people can find that?
Yes.
Forevermore.
Houston International Film Festival. And then I also produced a couple other things that won Gold Awards. Things like that. So I love the creative arts. I love all that. So that's I'm kind of a mishmash of a lot of things.
You have a lot of talent, is what they say. I don't know if it's a mishmash so much as a lot of talent. In a little tiny body.
Little tiny body?
Little tiny petite body.
Thank you. But I just really, that's kind of my journey to becoming who I am. But I never, ever would want to discount the fact that God is always working in my life and always working in your audience and in their lives. You may not know,
whether you know it or not.
You don't always know that He is on your side. He loves you. He has a plan for your life. In fact, in the book of Psalms, Psalms 139, He says that He wrote a book about you before you were born. It's all written in His book. You have a book of life. You have a book written about you and where you would be sitting and what you would be doing right now. So I'd like to encourage your audience to, maybe they don't have that gift of faith that I have, but it's just simple prayer, help.
Can't get more simple than that.
That's my favorite.
If you need help, ask for it.
Yeah, just help. And if there's a God, I want to know Him. And, for me, I know in whom I have believed. But just to ask Him to reveal His plan for your life. Because we could never do the master plan. We may know little bits and pieces. I always loved creative arts. I was a dancer also. I was a ballerina. And had to quit that when my parents divorced because of the money situation.
Right. It happens.
Yeah. So, I think I was always drawn to that, and I love the creativity of all that.
So
but then I'd love to use creativity with this council, to tell you.
I was going to say, I have a feeling if you are elected to Scottsdale City Council that you're going to bring all of what you just described into that position and use all your talents, because they clearly are all popping out at you at all times simultaneously instead of one-dimensionally, as many people are, to help you do the work you feel needs to be done to get things straightened out for Scottsdale. And hopefully that will bubble out into the other areas, because once somebody's successful, it helps other people be more successful too.
I want to help people. And whatever I can do on the council, I want to learn and grow, and be a blessing, because I think we're created to be a blessing to others.
I think
to serve your community. In fact, let me tell you a little fun fact. My Hebrew teacher taught me.
Oh, you wait.
Shalom, shalom.
You've learned. Oh, I'm like, you learned
study
Hebrew.
too.
You do study here, okay?
Yeah, I do.
So one of the more difficult languages.
Yes, it is, and I actually know all my alphabet, and I do know.
Are you Aleph, Be, He, J?
Yeah, Elif, Gimel, Dal, Hey, Vav. Yeah,
I know from Arabic, right?
Right,
Arabic's
yeah,
very similar.
it's a little different.
Oh my gosh! So, Shiri.
So I love to
That's funny you
study
say
the
that.
Bible in the original text. People can help me by signing my petition online.
PamelaCarter.com.
That's what I really need right now is to get on the ballot. Then I'll get on the council.
Now tell me this real quick about signing online. I just read something about they're stopping the online signatures on March 11th. Is that any?
That is true.
Okay.
But for the city, it doesn't affect me.
Okay, perfect.
Just local, the city races it doesn't affect
so
me.
So PamelaCarter.com, they can still sign for you between now and the deadline of April
4th.
Okay,
so I really appreciate any help because 1,000 signatures is meeting a lot of people.
Yes.
And you know what? I really love meeting people and hearing their concerns, and I just want to love them. I want to love them, and I want to love them with the love of God, and I want to draw them in any way I can to just feel that love. And,
that's great.
Be secure in their city.
So you're going to come into an office with a humanity point of view versus a political point of view, and bring who you are with you.
I want to work with the chief of police.
Yes.
To do what I can on the council, the fire department, it's
bring them together.
Well, everything is the city council. 7 people again, run your entire city.
And how many people in Scottsdale roughly?
240. I think it's 243,000.
Okay, so not a lot of council members to people in their city.
Right, but we vote on but a lot of it never gets to the voter, and that's another thing I want to change.
Okay.
The city council. I don't really like all this agenda being passed by 7 people. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom, boom. And I know they do sit and listen to developers, and I'm not against development, just sensible development
that maintains the structure that we have and what people come here for now. We don't want to ruin that, do we?
Right. No. We want to maintain our way of life.
Right.
So that's who I am, and that's what I love to do for my city. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing all of that, Pamela. I appreciate her being my second guest. I'm going to say that again because I'm so excited. Sorry, that's just me being me.
And you're doing a great job.
Thank you. PamelaCarter.com. So that's where you want to go to find her website. You want to look to volunteer. There's a button for that. If you would like to donate, there's a button for that. Also, her QR code we showed earlier. We could probably put it up on some way. Okay, cool. We'll do that. Doris, our magician behind the scenes, will do that. And this is Patriot Mom with American Perspective. We're so glad you joined us today. Thank you.
God bless.